Now I see why y'all wanted me to tune in for season 6. Okay, I heard that was the most epic season of Love Island USA, but baby, I missed it. I couldn't keep up with an episode every day, but this season premiere, ooh, it was good, it was messy, it was all the things. Let's talk about it.
Roxiie says we're gonna talk about it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Roxiie with Roxiie Says, and we're going to talk about it. Today, we are reviewing Love Island Season 7, Episode 1. Now, even though y'all started a little bit late, okay, I'm going to cut you a little bit of slack because I really enjoyed this episode. I really did. So let's get right into it. But before we do, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time I post a new video. Baby, these episodes drop every day. I'm going to be showing up for you every day. Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. Hit that subscribe button for me. We are so close to 36K. All right, so let's get into this review. So the episode opens up with a little music video type thingy for the Islanders. And I was like, okay, do they do this every season? Mind you, also, let me make this clear. This is my first time watching Love Island. Okay, I'm a Love Island virgin, so y'all gonna have to, let me know what's going on. There might be some things that I don't understand, some things that happened last season that I don't know about. Kindly fill me in the comments, okay? So as the episode opens up, like I said, they're doing this little music video. They're in the pool. They're dancing. They're singing. They're rubbing their abs. They're rubbing their booties. They're in Fiji. They just having a good time, okay? And one thing that I immediately recognized while watching this intro was that, they have the coin. They have the coin on this show, okay? And the villa was absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So the premise of the show is these Islanders will be here for the next 6 weeks, okay? We got a bunch of sexy singles, and they're hoping to find love and to win their share of $100,000. Now, I didn't know that there was money involved too. I like that. I like money, okay? And this season, they've added a speakeasy, a sauna, and a photo booth in addition to the 85 cameras and mics that they already have in the villa. So they're making sure that they won't miss a damn thing, all right? So the first ladies we meet are Shelly and Alandria. These two, in my opinion, they could pass for sisters. They could pass for cousins. They're super cute. So Shelly is 27 years old. She is a day trader, and she was born in Miami, but she currently resides in Queens, New York. And I said, yes, we're going to have some New York City flavor in the house. I love to see it, but Shelly, don't piss me off, okay? Don't piss me off. Don't embarrass me, all right? But she is smart and she is about her money. So Shelly says that she's an open book. She has dated both men and women, but she does not label herself. She's just Shelly, all right? Shelly also makes it clear that intimacy is very important to her and she doesn't discriminate, all right? So Alandria, she's 27 years old. She is from Alabama and she works in the elevator escalator industry. I said, okay, that's different. That's interesting. And she says that she is looking for a Southern gentleman who likes to open doors and build houses. I said, period. Okay, period. She says that she's a great cook and the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. She is also a first-generation college graduate and she graduated from Tuskegee, so props to her, all right? She also says that her mom told her to do whatever she needs to do to find a man, okay? Mama said, don't come back home single. You better bring me a man back, all right? So next, we meet Huda, like the makeup brand. I love their concealer. I love me some Huda, okay? Anyway, she is a 24-year-old fitness coach from Raleigh, North Carolina. Huda is a cutie pie, and I immediately love her energy and how her, Shelly, and Alandria, they were complimenting each other. That's me all day. They were like, oh, girl, you look good. Girl, you look good. I love that energy, okay? So Huda says that she's a romantic. She loves flowers. She loves love letters, all the things. And she also lets us know that she has a daughter who is her best friend. Now, has Love Island ever had contestants with children, or is she the first? I'm assuming that she's the first. I'm assuming that she's the first. Either way, she's very proud of being a mom, and she says that she doesn't care how anyone feels about that, all right? So she's been single for 4 years, and she's now ready for a partner who is ready to settle down. So catch this. Huda immediately tells Shelly and Alandria that she's a mother of a 4-year-old, okay? She had her daughter when she was 19 years old, and she has never introduced a man to her kids. And although she is very proud of her daughter and proud of being a mother, she tells the ladies that she wants to wait to tell people her business. And I said, okay, so why did you tell these two your business? You just met them. You don't even know these girls. You don't even know if you could trust them. You don't know if they're going to tell somebody else. I said, okay, child, I'm sure that that's going to come up sooner than later. All right. So next we meet Yolisa and Bella. Okay. She's a 23-year-old and she's currently living in Hawaii. And she says that she happily resides in Delulu land. Okay. She's like, I like being Delulu. That's what gets me through the day. She is very bubbly. She's very energetic. Bella says that she is ready to be loved out loud. And I said, period. Now, if you have been here for some time, you already know how I feel about that. Your partner should always what? Chalant about you. Chalant about you. All right. So next we meet Yolisa. Yolisa, it's not going to matter anyway, and I'm going to tell you why, but she was with her ex for 9 years, and he left her for another girl. And you know what? As she was telling this story, I started to feel sorry for her until I remember the tea that I heard. Okay, let me tell you. So Miss Yo-Yo, she likes to wear a red hat and say the N-word. And I seen the video. Oh, she liked that word a lot. She likes it a lot. It just flows like water coming through her lips. Okay, little Miss Yo-Yo is 4'10", but she says that she still has that fire in her, and she likes to keep it spicy in the bedroom. And I said, oh, so you be calling your man the N-word too? Is that how you keep it spicy? Anyway, next we see the host. Her name is Ariana. Y'all all know who she is. She comes out looking bomb. She has this dress on. Oh, she look good. She looks really good. And she says that she wants to get to know the ladies a little bit more. So Alondria says that she needs to stop cutting people off for the smallest things. Okay. Yolisa feels like she lost herself in her ex and she's now ready to build her roster. Bella has only been in one relationship. She says that she's a Christian girl and she wants a man who is looking for a life partner. Now, Huda, she loves herself a pretty man who works out. And Shelly wants a family-oriented man who is also funny, romantic, and genuine. Okay, so now it's time to meet the fellas. First up, we have Nicholas and Ace. And immediately we find out that Ace and Shelly already know each other. I said, what in the Lydia and Uche is going on here? So apparently they met outside of a nightclub in New York City and they exchanged Instagrams and they've been chatting on Instagram, but nothing really came of it because Ace lives in LA and of course Shelly lives in New York City. But Ace says that he is looking for a family-oriented woman who he can fall in love with. He's 22 years old. He's 22 years old and he has a dance company. And all of the ladies are already calling him a little baby. They're like, oh my God, you 22, you still have milk on your tongue, da 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 da. So Ace has all 6 of his siblings tatted on his body as well as his own name. It's tatted across his back. Very big, okay? And he says that dancing brings him so much joy. Ace says that he's a lover. He is not a player. And I said, okay, we're going to see about that, AC Poo. We're going to see about that. But so far, I like Ace. I do. I think he's adorable, okay? And although he is 5'10", he says that he has no problem talking to taller women. So next we meet Nicholas, and he lets us know, look, I'm grown. I'm 24 years old. I don't have no milk on my tongue. He made sure that the ladies know. He says, I'm a grown man, okay? I'm 2 years older than AC Poo over here. And Nicholas tells the ladies that the reason why his past relationship didn't work out was because his partner wasn't giving him enough attention. So he's looking for quality time with his next partner. I gotta say, my ears did perk up when he said that, and not in a good way, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to pass judgment just yet, okay? So Nick is a registered nurse, and he's looking for someone to take care of. I said, okay, well, I like that. So he says that he's been to 44 different countries and he likes different types of women the same way that he likes traveling to different countries, okay? His girl just needs to understand that he has a little bit of a crazy side. I said, okay, Nixie, my ears perked back up. I don't know about Nick yet. I don't know. But next we meet Taylor and he comes literally skipping in with his cowboy hat. I will say that Taylor looks way better on the show than in the picture. Okay, if you didn't see the show and you're looking at Taylor in this picture and you're like, boy, what's that? He looks better on the show. Okay, he really does. So he's a 24-year-old rodeo competitor from Oklahoma. He's in vet school. He has 4 horses and horses ain't cheap. Horses ain't cheap. So I see you, Taylor, all right? So he says that he cannot do a woman with ugly toes because if you don't know how to take care of your feet, how are you going to take care of him? Okay, that's what he said. So next up, we have Jeremiah and Austin. And I said, oh, so y'all saved the 2 tallest guys for last. All right, I see how y'all getting down. So Austin looks like the son, in my opinion, on This Is Us. If you know, you know, all right? But Austin says that he's a 26-year-old pool boy and he falls in love very easily. Baby, that is not love. That is not love, Austin. It's something else. But he says that he absolutely adores his job because he sees beautiful women all day. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you guys. Austin, he likes to say the N-word too, apparently, with the hard R. Okay, so do with that information what you want. And they also say that he has posted or retweeted some very unfavorable posts about Black people, as well as people in the LGBTQ community. So, of course, I don't like Austin, okay? Him and Yo-Yo, they need to link up and take their asses home, all right? So next up, we got Jeremiah. And I think that Jeremiah is very handsome. He's 25 years old. He's a model, and he also works as a caterer. He says that he loves books and video games, and he also says that he's a good guy most of the time, and he did cheat on his ex. But he says, look, I've lived and I've learned from my mistakes. And now he is looking for a partner with emotional intelligence. And I said, well, you better have some of your damn self if that's what you're looking for, okay? Y'all know that these words and these terms, they've been circulating on social media. So now people just be throwing shit out there. Oh, I want someone with this. I want someone with that. And they don't have it their damn selves, okay? We've seen it plenty of times. So now it is time for the Islanders to couple up. And Ariana lets them know that they're doing things a little differently this time. Now, I don't know how they did it last time, but for this time, each girl is picking 2 guys to make out with, and from that makeout session, they will decide who they want to couple up with. And when she said that, I said, you know what? Let me brace myself for all of this saliva swapping that's about to happen. Child. Okay. But she also lets them know that just because you pick a certain guy doesn't mean that that's going to be your guy, because another girl can come in and steal him from you. I said, ooh, this is messy. I like this. I like it. So first up is Shelly. And child, she had a steamy makeout session with both Austin and Ace. And baby, during those kisses, I had to clutch my pearls. 1, because the kisses were steamy. They were sexy. But 2, because Shelly was kissing Austin. And remember, Shelly has dated both men and women. And Shelly is Black. Okay? And from Austin's little Twitter fingers, he don't like none of that, okay? He don't like none of that. So I was definitely cringing during their kiss. But she ends up picking Ace, thank God. So next up is Huda. She makes out with Jeremiah. And then she goes and she makes out with Ace, who is Shelly's pick, okay, child? The ladies are really feeling Ace so far. But Huda, she ends up picking Jeremiah, okay? So next up is Bella. And she doesn't tongue the men down like the other ladies have done. She just lets them kiss her on the cheek, okay? Because she says that she doesn't kiss on the first date. And I'm not mad at that at all. So she gives a little peck to Nicholas and Taylor, who are also the only 2 guys at this point who haven't been kissed yet. And Bella ends up picking Nicholas. So Olandria, she makes out with Nick and Taylor. Now remember, Bella already picked Nick, okay? But she ends up picking Taylor the cowboy because Olandria said that she is looking for a nice Southern gentleman, and Taylor got the cowboy hat. He's the whole package, all right? I just hope that Olandria's toes are up to par. That's all I hope, okay? Because clearly toes are very important to Taylor. So last up is Yulisa, and so far every man is paired up except for Austin. And I said, perfect, put those 2 together. Put those 2 together. But she goes for Ace, who's already paired up with Shelly. And child, this kiss is long. This kiss was long, and it was deep, and it was passionate. Next, she goes for Jeremiah to give him a kiss, and he tells her, I'm going to just kiss you on the cheek. I'm going to just give you a little peck on the cheek. And I said, you better. That long-ass kiss that she just had with Ace, all that mucus and stuff still up in her mouth, child. Y'all better make sure that y'all have some penicillin and whatever the hell else y'all need on deck, because I know y'all gonna be spreading hella mono all throughout this damn show, okay? But Jeremiah says that he didn't make out with her out of respect for Huda, who he's already matched with, who was standing right by his side. And then Ace goes, damn, I messed up, didn't I? I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, because you just tongued Yulisa down with your girl Shelly standing right there, okay? But of course, that's the name of the game. But I will say, during that little scene, Jeremiah definitely did come out of it looking like more of a gentleman than Ace, all right? But Yulisa, she ends up picking Ace. So Shelly's man has been snatched up, baby, just snatched up. But she's not bothered by it because she's like, you know what? It's only day 1. It's all good, all right? So now she is paired up with Austin because no one chose him. Womp, womp, womp. But remember, Austin was Shelly's second pick, so she wasn't too mad about it. But I really wanted to jump through the screen and save sis. I really did. So, child, now we have 5 couples. We have Bella and Nick, Huda and Jeremiah, Shelly and Austin, Yulisa and Ace, and Olandria and Taylor. So now these couples will live together. They're going to do challenges together, and they're going to share a bed together starting now on the very first night. And 6 weeks from now, the public will be able to vote on their favorite couple, and that couple has the chance to win $100,000. Okay, but Ariana advises them not to get too comfortable. All right, so although the couples will share a bed, they're all going to be sleeping in the same room. So that should be pretty interesting. Think of like Madeline in the orphanage, you know, all the beds and everyone's just sleeping in the same room. All right. So next we see the couples, they break off to have some more intimate conversations. And Taylor does a little toe check on Alondria. And then he reveals to her that he has a black toe because a horse stepped on it. Sir, you should have 0 toe requirements if you out here walking around with a black toe. Okay. Like I'm not understanding, but these two, they do have a really good vibe off the bat. It's immediate, okay? So Alondria tells Taylor that she loves that he's a country man, and Taylor lets her know that he is definitely a Southern gentleman, all right? So next we have Ace and Yo-Yo. They connect on family, and they definitely have a fun and flirty vibe. And Ace says that he felt a spark right away. So Shelly and Austin, they have a cute and flirty vibe as well. And he does tell her that if it was his choice to pick, he would have kissed her and Bella. And I said, would you have though? Would you have? Okay. All right. So next we see Nick and Bella, and she says that she's very nervous about sleeping with him because she's never slept with the guy and she's not the type to go home with a guy after the club. Okay, Miss Mamas. Now, listen, this is my first time watching the show, but you're very much giving, I don't do this, I don't do that, which is fine. Have your boundaries, have your limitations. But isn't the premise of this show, correct me if I'm wrong, don't these people just come here and wild out? Isn't that what they do? I feel like if that's really, really who you were, you wouldn't even be interested on coming on a show like this. That's just how I feel about it. But okay, girl. Okay. Either way, her and Nick are already feeling each other. They're holding hands and everything. I said, okay, isn't that cute? Isn't that sweet? So next we see Jeremiah and Huda, and immediately you can tell that Jeremiah is one of those guys who jokes around a lot. Okay. He doesn't take himself too seriously, but you can also tell that he might spend longer than you getting ready when it's time for y'all to go out on a date. He gives that as well, all right? So he lets us know that he feels a lot of chemistry with Huda, and these two apparently wanted each other from the very first time that they locked eyes. Huda says that she's really feeling him too, but she's just praying and praying that he is not a F-boy, okay? And I can see why she would have that fear. He does give that. And remember, he's the one who cheated on his ex. Now, of course, Huda is not privy to this information just yet. And child, she's feeling him so much, in fact, that when it's time for them to part ways after their conversation, she says, okay, bye, I love you. Oh my God, did I just really say that? So that slipped out. She's really, really feeling Jeremiah so far, okay? So next we see the guys and the gals. They break off to chat first impressions. And Yolisa tells Shelly, look, girl, I wasn't trying to be messy by kissing Ace. It was solely based on looks. Okay, girl, who cares? So in her confessional, she says, look, Ace doesn't belong to Shelly just because they've met before, which is true. But Yo-Yo, I just don't like you. I just don't. And why did my autocorrect change her name from Yo-Yo to Toto? We might have to start calling this girl Toto. Okay, either way, go home. Go home. So Huda is gushing over Jeremiah, and the feeling is very mutual on his end. She's just hoping that he isn't saying the right things just to get her. Okay, so she's going to keep an eye out to make sure that his actions are lining up with his words. So over at the guys' conversation, Ace says that he's really vibing with Yolisa, but he's still open and he's here to get the full experience. I said, I know that's right. So Jeremiah says that although it's only day one, he is really feeling Huda. He's so excited and giddy when he's talking about her. It's really cute. He is cheesing from ear to ear, okay? So now it's finally bedtime. Everyone gets in their beds with their partner in their big shared bedroom, and Jeremiah and Huda already start making out in the bed. I said, well, damn. Now, I will say that I did catch feels for these two during this scene. I thought it was really cute. Maybe it's because they were playing Saturn by SZA in the background during the scene. And baby, that is my song. Maybe that's what it was. But I was definitely watching my screen saying, aw, isn't that... Those two are cute. I like them. The next morning, we see everyone. They're getting ready for the day. We see Ace. He's doing flips back and forth. And he made a reference to The Office because he was like, parkour. So he gained a point with me because The Office is one of my favorite shows of all time. So I said, AC Pooh, you moving up there with me. You moving up there with me, okay? So while the ladies are getting ready, the guys are already downstairs making breakfast. We see Nick, he brings a plate of food to Bella. And next we see Ace telling Nicholas that even though he likes Yolisa a lot, he's really into Shelly too, and he didn't come here to not explore all of his options. So Nicholas tells Ace that he's feeling Bella, she's nice or whatever, but Alandria, okay, now she's had his attention from the very first night as well. He says, listen, that kiss that she laid on me has been on my mind, and I want to get to know her. Now, I wasn't shocked by this at all because remember, Nikki already told us, listen, I like a variety in my travels the same way that I like a variety in my women. Okay, Nick don't discriminate. He likes everything. So we see Austin and Shelly, they're vibing even more. They're laughing, they're touching, they're discussing starting a family. And he also tells her that she is the only woman here who has sparked his interest. And I'm like, sir, you are laying it on very thick for someone who has the views that you have. And that's actually very scary. Like outside of the show, that's very scary that someone can have certain views, but when they're in your face, they're just saying all the right things. They're playing all their cards right. That is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying, okay? I was cheesing from ear to ear, but then I remembered how he gets down, all right? So Shelly tells us that Austin is cool. He just seems more introverted than the type of guys that she usually goes for. And Ace is on the top of her list. I said, oh boy, so Julissa and Shelly, they're going to be going after Ace, okay? But we ain't worried about Yo-Yo. Go get your man, Shelly. Go get your man. So next we see Jeremiah and Huda. They share a little chat where they pretty much confirm to each other that they don't give a damn how early it is. They really like each other, okay? They like each other a whole lot. And Huda tells him that she's looking forward to having deeper conversations with him. So they start speaking about their home life and how much they pay for rent. And Huda tells Jeremiah that she has a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And as far as he knows, she's single and she lives alone. So he's like, well, what's the second bedroom for? Now, we know that it's for her daughter, okay? But she hasn't revealed this information to him just yet. So he asks her, is it for an office? And she says, I'm going to tell you later. I'll tell you later. And I had the same reaction as Jeremiah. Like, girl, what you mean? Are you hiding bodies in the second room? Like, girl, what's going on? First of all, you didn't even have to say how many bedrooms you had. If you wanted to keep the fact that you have a daughter a secret, you didn't really have to say how many bedrooms you had, Bookie, but you really didn't. And now you're being kind of coy about it. So he's really going to want to know, okay? But if I was Jeremiah, honestly, after asking if it was an office or like maybe a nice big closet, a room that you turned into a closet or a makeup room, my third guess would definitely be a child's room. Like, do you have a kid? Okay. But he does say that he's going to let the matter rest for now because he does see that she's getting a little bit uncomfortable and he tells her it's cool. I'll wait until you're ready to tell me. All right. So in Huda's confessional, she says that she likes for a guy to be fully invested in her first before she tells them that she has a child. Okay. And I said this is going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see his reaction to this news, okay? So, child, next we see Ace. He pulls Shelly aside for a little chat, and we see Jolisa. She is just staring at them. She is just staring at them like... because we know that Ace is supposed to be her man. So Ace tells Shelly that he thinks that it's fate that they're here at the same time and that they were meant to meet back up. So Shelly tells him, look, she wasn't even going to choose Ace at first because she didn't want to be biased, but her gut kept telling her to just go for him. And Ace asks Shelly how she felt when he tongued Yolissa down. And Shelly says, look, I was cool with it. I understand it's just part of the process. And that's good because honestly, I would be a little worried about someone who comes onto a show like this and gets territorial over someone on the first night. Not like a little cute territorial, but like territorial to the point where they get upset about it. Like, no, ma'am, no, sir, chill out, okay? But Ace says, look, I wouldn't have been cool with that. I don't want no one kissing up on my girl, Shelly. I said, okay, Ace. I said, okay. So in his confessional, Ace is blushing, okay? He is blushing at the thought of her. And he says, you know what? I have a real good feeling about Shelly, a real good feeling. See, Ace, then you should have did what Jeremiah did, and you should have told Yolissa to just kiss you on the cheek instead of tonguing her down in front of your girl, because then maybe she wouldn't have stolen you and then y'all would have been together. All right. But I get the impression that Yolissa likes black guys. I just get that impression from her. Okay. So Shelly does tell him that there is definitely something between them and she's willing to see what happens. And I'm sitting here like, yes, bye, Yolissa. Bye, Austin. Goodbye. Okay. So next we see everyone. They're getting all dressed up for a bonfire challenge. I don't know, but they definitely gave us another little music video. I said, okay, another video. Thank you. And while they were getting ready, Shelly tells Yolisa that she thinks that they need to have a little chat about the elephant in the room, which is Ace, okay? And Yolisa agrees that they can chat about it later. So we see Shelly and Austin. They're talking about bugs and growing tadpoles into frogs. A very different type of conversation than we saw her have with Ace, right? But she does say that at least Austin hasn't given her the ick just yet. Well, he's giving me the ick, okay? All right, so y'all know it's fire pit time, and Ariana asks them how they're feeling after day one. Yolisa says that she feels like people are playing it safe and she's waiting to see everyone's true colors. And I said, girl, I'm waiting to see your true colors, okay? I'm waiting to see if you're going to flip out and call Shelly the N-word after she takes your man Ace. That's what I'm waiting to see. So Ariana tells them that now it's time to find out if they're truly happy with the person who they originally chose, because tonight she's giving them an opportunity to make a play for someone else. And they get to do it in secret. Ooh, I like this show, y'all. I do. I really like it. So she tells each of them to put on a blindfold, and they have the opportunity to kiss someone outside of their current partner. And best of all, or worst of all, their identities will stay hidden because everyone is blindfolded, okay? So then she tells them to raise their hand if they are interested in kissing another Islander. We see Nicholas raise his hand, Ace, Olandria, and Shelly. Those four raised their hands. Now, I know Yolisa was trying to feel if there was a little gust of wind from Ace raising his hand. I know she was. So Ariana tells everyone to kiss quietly, but child, that is impossible because we hear so much smacking during these kisses, so much, okay? So Nick kisses Olandria, and it's a good kiss. You can tell that he has been wanting to do that all day. And of course, Olandria is confused because she has no idea who it is, but she says that she knows that it's someone with a low-cut beard because she felt the beard while they were kissing, okay? So Shelly goes and she kisses who? Ace, of course. And it's a cute little kiss. But child, next Olandria goes and she tongues Ace down. Do you hear me? She tongued Ace down. And I said, oh my God. Oh my God, girl, I didn't even know you was feeling Ace like that. But I know for myself, I'm just going to have to get comfortable with all these kissing scenes so that I'm not gagging every single time they do it. Because clearly they're going to be doing a lot of this. I know. All right, child, the ladies are still loving Ace. They just loving Acey Poo. So now it's his turn and he gives Shelly a sexy kiss. And I was like, ooh, yes, Ace, that was a nice kiss. And I'm thinking he's done. He kissed his girl Shelly and he's about to sit his ass down. But Ace said, wait, there's more. He goes and he tongues down Huda too. Jeremiah's little boo thing. And I said, no, Ace, why you want to go bother these people? Can't you see that they're happy and in love? Why you want to mess up their happy home? And you can tell by Jeremiah's face that he definitely heard that someone was right next to him kissing his girl Huda, okay? He knew it. So now Jeremiah is probably thinking, y'all saw me gushing over this girl Huda and one of y'all want to try to steal her from me? Child, after that, they bring in 2 bombshells and we hear the announcer. He says that one of these bombshells was very expensive because he's from the UK, so they had to pay a tariff on him. The way that I cracked up when he said that. But anyway, his name is Charlie. He's 27. He's from the UK. And Charlie says that he is here to show these American boys how it's done. Okay. The next bombshell is Sierra. She is 25 years old and she's from Arizona. She says, look, I'm the full package and I don't give a damn whose toes I need to step on because if I can take your man, then he was never yours in the first place. I said, oh, okay, girl, those are fighting words. All right. So Charlie gives Bella a kiss on the cheek and then he makes out with Yolisa. And then he makes out with Shelly. And then he makes out with Olandria. And I'm like, okay, so he just gonna kiss everybody? Do they get breaks in between to wash their mouths out and it's just edited out? Please say yes. I highly doubt it, but I'm hoping one of y'all says yes in the comments. Child, Charlie isn't done because then he also kisses Huda. And I'm like, okay, so he is kissing everybody, all right? But how did he know to kiss Bella on the cheek? Did y'all catch that? Did I miss something? Because he kissed Bella on the cheek first. Did they tell him, hey, Bella is the girl who doesn't kiss on the lips, and that's why he tongued everyone else down except for her? I found that very interesting, okay? So Ciara, she kisses Jeremiah, Taylor, Austin, Ace, and their kiss, her kiss with Ace, has some lip biting involved as well. Then she kisses Nick, and the 2 bombshells disappear into the hideaway. Okay, I said, y'all messy on this show. Y'all really messy. So Ariana tells everyone, the Islanders, to take their blindfolds off and she asks everyone who received the kiss to raise their hand. Now, of course, they all raise their hand because these damn bombshells just finished tonguing everybody down, okay? But I was like, Bella, put your hand down because you didn't get no kiss. You got a little peck on the cheek. But anyway, Ariana tells them that the final set of kisses that they received actually came from the new bombshells. And of course, everyone is like, who, what, where, when, and how. So Ariana tells them to put their blindfolds back on and then raise your hand if you really enjoyed that last kiss and you want to get to know that bombshell a little bit better. And child, that is where the episode ends. But we see that it's going to get real messy in tonight's episode because now all of the secrets and all of the lies are starting. I want to thank y'all for asking me to do this show way back from last season because, oh baby, it's good. It's good. I was thoroughly entertained throughout the entire episode and I cannot wait for tonight's episode. So make sure that you hit like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I post my next video. And baby, I cannot wait to see you tonight. Bye.
Roxiie says we're gonna talk about it.